What's going on, guys?
Hello, hello.
So basically, we're showing you what we bring on our trip. And this is basically the same loadout that we did at Sunburst Lake that you guys saw. It was, 3 days, 2 nights, and a lot of stuff to pack in, including our boat, fins, everything. Camera equipment. So it adds up quite a bit. I know a lot of you were asking, what is our loadout? What do we carry? How do we keep it so light? How we keep it under 40 pounds.
Which you can keep it under 40 pounds?
Mine's under 40 pounds now.
Mine's not.
If you're 5'9", you can get it under 40 pounds.
I cannot get it under 40 pounds.
If you're over 5'10",
yeah, good luck to you,
If you're over 6 foot, you cannot.
That is the truth.
Mm-hmm. So,
one thing to remember about these loadouts too is that length of trip doesn't really matter. Once you start staying overnight somewhere, you're basically taking the same stuff, and then your consumables are the thing that really changes. So the longer your trip, the more weight you'll carry in food, fuel, and liquids. But other than that, this is the stuff that me and Eric would use even if we did just an overnight, or we're planning on doing a big trip this summer, like 6 days, 7 days, and we'll probably end up using the same stuff, just adding consumables to it. So,
and to add on to that, you would think you would lose weight by eating your food and drinking your liquids, but it always feels heavier on the way out.
Yeah, fatigue plays a part in that.
I think it's fatigue, and usually if you don't have time to dry out your boat,
yeah, you carry extra water weight if you can't dry your gear out.
Yeah.
Wet trips are always heavy trips coming back out. So.
Yeah. Always heavy trips. All right, so first thing, I guess I want to pull out.
Yeah, the stuff that's on body, off pack, basically.
So trekking poles. I feel like I've never used them before until Jason got me into them. I didn't know really what the point was. Didn't understand. Really wasn't until we went to Sunburst and I fully understood how awesome trekking poles actually are. Yeah. There's this part at the end of the hike, so you just hiked in 12 miles. And the last little bit, you have to cross this stream, the outlet, essentially, to Sunburst Lake. And it's just full of logs everywhere.
Big log jam.
Huge log jam. And the time we went, it was not sunny. It was cloudy all day, thankfully, because it was nice, cool weather. However, once we got there, the logs were wet and slippery. And my pack was probably around the same, 65 pounds?
Yeah, probably.
65 pounds. It was just exhausting.
Yeah.
Without the trekking poles, I actually didn't want to cross the log jam.
Yeah.
I was actually terrified. But as soon as I got them out and was able to have three pieces on the ground at all time, it made a world of difference.
Yeah.
I wasn't even scared at that point.
It's huge. I've used trekking poles for a long time. I'm a bigger guy. I weigh about 215. And then with a 60-pound pack, all of a sudden I'm a 275-pound guy. So it's a lot of weight, and big trips like that with steep uphills and steep downhills, it's hard on my knees. So I started using trekking poles to kind of help disperse the load a little bit, and give my knees a break. I hadn't used them up until probably 5 or 6 years ago. I'm 40 now, so it's definitely a huge help for me. Before that, I just kind of went for it and didn't think I really needed them, but the day I started using them, I was hooked on them. So me and Eric are using the same poles. These are the Black Diamond Trail poles. Just a good, semi-budget friendly pole. These are about $100 a piece, if I remember right. And really awesome feature set for the money. Really good poles. Definitely worth the $100 investment to save your knees, your back, and keep your balance when you're crossing logs like we have to do sometimes. So
lifesaver crossing logs. I can't tell you how much these help. Also crossing rivers or streams.
Yeah, water crossings, it's a huge help.
It's awesome. You don't have to worry about footing, you just kind of walk along. You don't have to worry about tripping because you always have two of these on the ground. So Makes everything a lot safer.
Yep, definitely. Good thing to not have in your pack, but to have in your hands, for sure.
And now since I bring these all the time, I got a tent that has to use these.
Yeah, they're good for shelter, too. You have anything else that you carry off your pack on your body? I got my chest pack.
So, yeah, usually I carry my gun on the outside of my body, but I did not bring that today.
Yep.
That you got.
So on big trips, I generally will carry my radio harness. This is a leftover thing from my search and rescue days, but it makes for awesome carrying of small items that you need to pack with you. Keep my cell phone on here. Keep a compass, mirror compass in this pouch. And let's see, usually a couple, I'll put a couple energy packs, glucose gels.
Hammer gels?
Yep, in
Hammer
here.
gels.
Hammer gels in there. I carry my gun in there. That's Glock 19. I carry a pair of gloves in there because you never know when you're going to need gloves. And then I have a lighter, Bic lighter, and also I carry my headlamp in there. So I have the little essential items on my person while I'm hiking. And then my backpack I basically just wear over the top of the straps of this, so this sits on my chest.
And then bear spray. I usually both
Yep.
carry bear spray.
Yep.
Both have guns, both have bear spray.
My bear spray, I actually, when I'm wearing this, I'll hook my bear spray to one of the straps down here, so it's kind of hanging up high away from the waist belt of my pack to kind of keep it out of the way, but it's really handy if I need to use it. So I carry my bear spray like a gun. I want it readily accessible in case I need it. So.
And it gives us a little bit of weight on our chest, so forward weight.
Yep, a little forward weight helps offset the weight of the pack.
Yeah.
You're adding more weight, but it's helping you balance a little bit more, so that's good. And we both are using counter assault bear spray.
So far, luckily, we've never had to use one.
Yep, hopefully we never do.
All right, anything else you got outside?
Nope.
All right.
Do you want? Cool.
So, for the sunburst trip, I brought this along. I don't think I'll bring it. I don't know. So this is the buck sock that I carry. It's pretty cool. It's really light. Just folds out, and then it stays on there via tension.
It's a cool design.
Just like that, done. And you can cut easily 4-inch to 6-inch logs really quickly. Anything larger than that, it's going to take some time. Not worth it. But we're doing a trip next month. We're doing the Sealy, Young's Creek all the way to Spotted Bear, right? In the bog.
Basically all the way to Meadow Creek, I believe, right?
Oh yeah, Meadow Creek Gorge. Yeah. Which is a 20-mile hike. I think it's a 60-mile float.
Yep.
So this, I do not believe him. I am not carrying that.
You're not going to take it with you.
I'm not taking that with me. And then our fishing poles.
Yep.
I always bring a soft-sided case when we're going backpacking. I never bring a hard case. I've never broken a fishing pole ever once yet, so I don't see the need for a hard case, and they weigh a lot.
Yep. Yep. What fishing pole do you bring?
Sage.
Sage.
Yeah, just my Sage.
I use the same case as Eric.
Water. I think it's a Stillwater brand,
Stillwater brand.
but you can find it on Outcast website.
Yeah, Outcast.
And if you live within the valley here in Flathead Valley, you can find them at Army, Navy as well.
Yep. They're really nice, super lightweight. They fold flat, as you can see. There's like nothing to them. But they work awesome with the Trinity flow tubes. So we both carry those. I carry mine on the outside, and Eric's got a bigger pack, so you can fit them on the inside of his.
Yeah, we're not big fans of carrying things on the outside. Not more than what we have. We don't think you should carry your sleeping bag, a tent or anything like that outside, you can. I mean, but it just pulls you back more.
Yep.
You can really tell the difference if you pack your bag right or incorrectly.
Yeah.
And having heavier things on the outside, dragging on the bottom, just bouncing along is not ideal.
Yeah. It makes for a rough day when you have to carry your pack 12 miles and you have a bunch of weight counterbalancing you. So we try to keep everything inside and
As much as possible.
Yep. And we pack, I don't know about Eric, but I pack light stuff at the very bottom of my pack.
Yep.
And then in the center, real close to my back, is where all the heaviest items go.
Mm-hmm.
And then I pack light stuff around them to fill the void. And then if I have anything else that's heavier, it ends up on the top of the pack. So basically what I've always told people is if you can load your pack and it'll want to stand up and balance by itself, it's probably pretty well balanced and it'll feel decent when you're hiking. But if you're loading your pack and it immediately wants to flop over on its face, you're going to be fighting that pack the whole time you're hiking. So.
And it's really annoying when you set it off and it falls down.
Yep.
So yeah, my float tube is in the center of my pack.
Yep. Same here.
Yep.
Same here.
I know I packed my float tube way differently this time than ever before. So it's going to be, I know, way different than yours.
Really?
This is like a cigar.
Well, it would be, but I had a little bit of air still in my tubes from last time we did our trip.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't pack quite as small as usual,
okay.
but it's pretty small still.
Alright, what you got in your brain?
I have very few items in the top of my
My spoon.
carry spoon.
See the summit? Aluminum spoon.
Yep. I believe I have the same spoon. Mine.
Huh.
Same spoon.
Oh, you're shaving some weight off. I should get this carabiner off of there.
Yeah, you don't want to carry that carabiner. That's just extra weight. I carry a Bic lighter in the top, first aid kit in the top. It's a pretty small but pretty comprehensive little kit. My DOP kit, so this would be like all my little toiletries and stuff that I use, soap, toothpaste, some toilet paper, and some wet wipes I have in there. And then I carry my power bank
You
in
do?
the top lid of my pack. Yeah.
How heavy is that thing?
It's not that bad.
Your pack is so heavy.
Half pound maybe?
Mine's a pound.
Yeah, mine's not a pound.
Mine will be a pound.
I think that's about half a pound. And something to mention too is like if you guys want us to go through any of the smaller kits, I mean, the way I organize my pack is I have little kits basically for all the different things that I carry. So if you want like an overview of like what we carry in first aid kits or whatever, we could do that in another video. So,
yeah. If you're interested in anything, we can give you like a review or thoughts or opinions about it.
Yep.
How much we liked it.
Just let us know what you want to see, and we'll make a video for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got my GoPro head strap in there. I got my rain gear, rain pants. They're just OR. And then my OR rain coat, really light stuff on the top, just ready to get after it, need it. And then I also have my stakes as well for the tent.
Tent stakes, yep.
Yeah.
The other thing I carry in my top lid is my snack items. Sometimes I'll carry a few snacks in my chest pack, but everything else, like small food items, I carry in the top lid of my pack.
I also got my GoPro, and then usually I would carry my Sony, which I'm videotaping right now with, or using it right now with. I would carry that on top of my brain as well.
Yep. I'm empty.
Empty?
Yep.
We're both empty. Alright.
Alright, what's your next item?
My next item will be right here. My jacket. Just my puffy coat, my Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisper coat. Love this thing, really light, keeps you so warm. It can be as windy as it wants to. The wind does not cut through
Won't
this.
penetrate it.
It's awesome. So when you're on the lake and it's windy, this guy and then a raincoat over if it's raining, and you're good to go. You have nothing to worry about. essential piece of gear.
My next item is my camera kit. So this is my GoPro camera with the head strap, 7 batteries, and 4 memory cards, all kind of stashed in here. So my camera kit.
Then I have my Bargo bot. Love this thing. It's really, really light. I just stash little things in here, got extra webbing. And then the filter, water filter.
Yep.
To do flint, steel, coffee packets, and then extra fuel in case Jason runs out.
Yep.
You usually don't need that much fuel, especially for 3 days. 1 is enough, usually, right?
Yep, definitely. But highly recommended to carry 2.
At least 2.
Because going by the 2 is 1, 1 is none principle, there could be an issue with the canister's seal, and you might lose a canister, so it's always good to have a backup just in case something were to happen. We should probably talk about that filter a little bit more. The water filter that we've started using is from Ketadine. Do you remember the name of it? The Be Free?
Be Free, yep.
The Be Free cartridge.
And this is it.
Yep, that's all it is.
Really light.
Super good filter. It filters really fast. We found collapsible bottles that you'll see in a bit that made up really nicely with that. So we basically just carry our water bottles and our pots, and I carry a mug as well, and then our collapsible bottles with that filter, and filter water into the different vessels. And it's super light and super efficient, way better than a pump filter.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing with that is we have had one failure with these. One got plugged up or stopped flowing way sooner than we ever expected it to.
Yeah.
In really clear water. So it's hard to explain what happened, but we couldn't get any flow from it. So this is another one of those items. They're cheap. I want to say they're $25 for this cartridge. Each person in your group would want to carry one of these. You probably only end up using one the whole time, but having a backup is really important.
Yeah, because, I mean, we're filtering Montana water.
Yeah, there's no reason for it to plug up.
It's not Arkansas water, like, it's really clean.
Yep.
And, yeah, I was squeezing as hard as I could, and there's not even one drop would come out of it. So
yep. We tried cleaning it, and
they do fail.
Nothing we could do, so...
And if that goes, then the next thing you have to do is boil water. Which
yep.
That's fuel source then.
Yep, and then it's
that's
a good thing you have 2 canisters as well. Yep. All right, the next thing I carry, this is another one of my heavier items, so it's kind of residing on the top of my pack. This is all my fishing gear in here. I'll break it out real quick so you can see what I got inside. It's just a mesh bag from Outdoor Research. I like having a lot of flies with me on big trips, so I have one double-sided fly box, and then I have another fly box for my bigger flies. This is going to be mostly like squirrel leeches and buggers, woolly buggers in here. And then this one is dry flies on one side and nymphs on the other side. I have my reel. This is a Lamson Remix, and that has sinking line on it. And then I have an extra spool for the Remix that has my floating line on it, so I can switch between dry flies and dredging. I carry some bug juice in there just in case the bugs are really bad. And then I have this little kit down here that carries my nippers / forceps. And then on the inside of this kit is all the little parts that I need for fishing. There's some sunblock in here, some tippet material, floatant, my license I carry in here, some tubing for helping with inflating and deflating our float tubes, some bobbers, miscellaneous items. So that's my fishing kit that I carry on the top of my pack there.
All right, so next I have a luxury item that I carry, and that will be the Sea to Summit tarp. It is a 10 by 10, and it's 15.5 ounces.
That's borderline, like, not luxury.
It is kind of almost necessary, but not.
It comes in handy a lot.
So when we were on our trip, I think it was the first Sunburst trip, not the one that we made a video of. It was raining, it's stormy, and having a place to sit outside instead of being crammed in the little tent, it was a lifesaver.
Yeah,
for sure. You could just, at least you could watch the rainstorm pass by. Didn't have to worry about getting wet. Your gear didn't have to get wet. And then we had it basically just right over the tent where you could just crawl back in the tent and stay dry. So it was really, really nice to have.
It makes your trip way more enjoyable, especially if you're sharing a tent. Because if you have to take shelter in a 2-man tent for any length of time, it sucks.
It's real steamy.
Yep. So the tarp, even though it's a luxury item, has come in handy plenty of times on our trips.
Yeah.
I think it's worth carrying. If you can spare the space and the weight, it's worth carrying a tarp. And that's a, what, 10 by 10?
10 by 10.
Yep.
So a nice size
Really good size tarp.
Yep. Just enough for 2 people and your gear underneath.
And what's that weigh?
15.5 ounces.
Yep. Nice and light.
Yep.
Very expensive.
Very expensive. $200.
$200. Let's see. What else do I have in here? My rain gear sits on the top of my pack as well. This is my rain jacket. I keep it up on top just so it's easy to access on the trail. I try to plan out the way I pack my pack, not only for it to be balanced, but so that I can access gear items that I'm going to need when I'm going to need them. So I always keep my rain jacket right on top so I have really quick access to it. And this is a North Face Venture jacket, about $100 jacket. Good price point. Packs down nice and small. It's pretty light. It's not as light as the Outdoor Research that Eric has, but it's still a really nice piece of gear for $100.
Yeah. Because mine was $200.
Yep.
But
you pay for weight.
Yeah, you pay for less fabric.
Yeah. Yep.
But the nice thing about OR, and I believe North Face is the same thing, they have a wonderful warranty.
Yeah.
Like even if you damage it, they'll send you a new one or try to fix it. I think anything damaged, they give away, don't they? They donate it or something like that. So really good company all around. I love Outdoor Research.
Yeah, they make awesome gear. I have tons of Outdoor Research stuff myself.
Yeah. Sweet. All right, so the next luxury item I got is my chair. And so this is the Helinox Chair 1. So this is the lightest version they make.
You can see the size comparison.
Yeah,
they're about the same length, but his is way lighter.
Yeah, I think this is under a pound.
Yep. It's a pound lighter than this one, for sure. And packed smaller too, so awesome item.
Really nice.
Yep. I carry my mug up at the top just because it's a spot where I can squish it in. And I also carry on the other side of that the dry bag that I use when I'm fishing. This is a really durable dry bag from Sea to Summit. It's called the Big River.
Yep.
Big River dry bag. It's a 20-liter bag, and this is what I would normally pack, like my rain gear, my puffy coat if it's cold, extra clothing items, some beers and food go in this and ride on the back of my float tube while I'm fishing, so I have access to that stuff. So carry those 2 items up on top as well.
Right, because the float tubes, they really don't have enough room in the pockets are really shallow.
Yeah, you can't carry any extra gear in there.
The more you blow up the float tube, the less room you have in those pockets, actually. So it takes quite a bit of space. And the next item I got is my new sleeping bag. I haven't even used it yet.
Dude, that thing is so small.
So last year,
amazing.
Last year I was using a 40-degree bag from Mountain Hardware, and then Thermarest just came out with a 32-degree bag that weighs less than the 40-degree bag. This weighs 1 pound. 1 pound, 32-degree bag, which usually is more than enough for Montana summers and springs. You rarely would hit below 32 degrees anytime we camp.
Yep. Keep that handy because you'll be able to compare it to mine.
Yeah.
Awesome bag. What was the price on that one?
$350, I think.
$350?
Oh.
Okay. Which isn't too bad considering.
Yeah, actually right. It's competitive.
Do you know what the fill is on it? Is it an 850? 800?
Oh yeah, I think it's. I want to say it's 9.
900.
I think it's 8 fill. I think it's 850 though.
Also, my rain pants are on top. I forgot that.
It's 900 fill.
900?
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. So the way I pack my pack, like I said before, is I put the heavy stuff in and then pack stuff around it. So I'm gonna pull this out. This is gonna be the fly for the tent.
Nice.
So that kind of packs around the stuff in the center of my pack. So fly with guy lines attached. I like to leave these attached so that they're always there and I don't have to make new ones every time I want to go to use it. So that's in there. Go ahead with your next one.
Ooh, next one, clothes. Clothes is actually pretty heavy. It feels just as heavy as the float tube body, actually. But
Dang, you must have a lot of clothes in there.
I think it's because how thick they are.
Is it all your clothes in one bag?
Yep.
Okay.
Besides my coat. So when we're going float tubing in mountain lakes, it gets cold. So I always bring thermal pants, and I always bring a thermal top. This is also beneficial for my 32-degree sleeping bag. If it gets cold at night, I mean, these keep you extra warm, especially with the Mountain Hardware puffy as well. You can throw that on, it keeps you warm.
Yeah.
And then also I bring Outdoor Resource little puffy pants as well. It's comfortable at night walking around camp, keeps everything really nice, warm, and you can wear it underneath your waders as well. So all this stuff keeps you really hot, and the nice thing about the shirt, at least you can take off in the float tube and just stuff it into the dry bag itself.
Yep.
And so yeah, it's beneficial outside, out on the lake, and beneficial when you're sleeping or when it's cold outside.
Yep.
And then underwear, and then socks as well as in here.
Yep. I'll go with mine as well. I have 2 bags this size for clothing. One is my layering system like Eric has, and then the other one would be my puffy coat. I pack into one of these as well. This one, I believe, this one's my puffy coat here, and the other one, this is my clothing bag right here. So puffy coat, I have a black diamond down coat. I can't recall the name, it's older. I've probably had it for 3 years, 4 years now. Might be called the Cold Forge or something like that. Great coat. It actually stuffs down pretty small for how big it is. I've had this on lots of winter expeditions too, and it keeps me super warm. So I think it's called the Cold Forge hoodie, but awesome coat from Black Diamond. And then in the other bag for my clothing system is very similar to Eric's. I carry 1 pair of extra underwear, 1 pair of extra wool socks. I like to use wool hiking socks. They dry really fast and they're really comfortable, and they insulate well in my waders. And if I need them for sleeping, I can put them on. And then I carry a pair of fleece long underwear and an extra t-shirt that dries really quick. And then in the very bottom of my pack, where I pack my sleeping bag, I stuff in basically a hooded version of this in a sweatshirt that I use as like a base layer or even an outer layer sometimes. And that's a Patagonia R1 hoodie that makes an awesome insulating layer. These are like a old Cabela's pair of long underwear that I've had forever that just work really well, so I keep using them, and they pack small. So that's my clothing system basically. Everything else is stuff that I would wear on the trail going in, so I don't have to pack it with me. Very minimal clothing.
Mm-hmm.
We basically just concentrate on having layers for cooler weather.
So one thing I was debating, but I use the Thermarest pillow, the foam pillow. I am not comfortable with the Sea to Summit blow-up pillows anymore. We both tried them. I don't even know if you like them.
I don't, but I still carry it.
He still carries it. I know he's dabbled with it a couple times. He brought 2 of them at one point to get it higher.
Yep.
I can't do it. They're just not comfortable, no matter what. They slip around. They don't feel natural like your home pillow. So it's just a really hard time falling asleep on it.
Yep.
Camping with this thing, even though it's a little bit heavier, 9 ounces for the medium, I think. Really comfortable, really warm. I can sleep a lot better with this rather than the Sea to Summit or any blow-up pillow for that matter.
I'll end up with one of these, definitely, because I'm the same way.
Yeah,
I almost do better when I take my like a sweatshirt or a base layer and wrap it around my Sea to Summit pillow to like add some padding to it almost, but it slides around a lot and it's just really hard to get comfortable with. So I think this is a good option for a pillow, and I'll probably end up carrying one of these myself. So
world of a difference for comfort.
Yep.
It's a little heavier, but I think it's worth it for a good night's sleep.
Yep, for sure. Speaking of sleeping, my next item is my sleeping pad. This is
How old is that thing?
It's old. Thermarest, what is it, all season?
Mm-hmm.
Thermarest all season, Neo Air all season. I got this 3 years ago, probably.
Oh, it's not that old.
3 or 4 years ago. It's the green version. They're still around.
Yeah.
Great pad. It's a little heavy by today's standards. I think this is 19 ounces for this one. And it's a large, obviously. You need a large pad, so I always carry a little extra weight with everything, basically, I carry, because everything's bigger. I mean, my coat is monstrous compared to Eric's coat. But it's part of the deal. Being a big guy, you carry big stuff.
Yep.
So, great pad, though. It keeps me super warm. Thermarest has done a good job keeping their stuff relatively light, but with really warm insulating factors. So good pad company. There's other ones out there that are great as well, but
I mean, they're back in the game.
Yep.
Last year they were slacking. I mean, when that whole Featherlight whatever came about, they were really dragging. They were just dragging. They weren't keeping up at all. But this year they came out with that pad. They came out with those quilts. And speaking of,
they've stepped up their game big time.
They came out with probably one of the lightest pads I've ever seen on anything. So they just came out with an 8.8 ounce, R value 2.5, so a good 3-season pad, and less crinkly than my X-Therm that I usually carry.
It's the size of a beer can.
But
that's just irritating.
That's
just irritating.
But it's lighter than a beer can because it's 8.8 ounces, not 12.
It's lighter than a beer can and the same size. It's about the same as an empty beer can.
So, yeah, it's really sweet. 8.8 ounces on this. My sleeping bag is
that is unbelievable.
A pound, so pound 8 ounces for those two guys. which was nice.
Man, no wonder your pack's so much lighter
It is
than
light.
All right. The next items I have stuffed down in my pack would be my food items.
Oh, you do have food.
Yep.
You have
So
food.
my food items get stuffed down right in the front side of my pack. We're simulating our sunburst trip here, so this is like a 3 days food. Sometimes I'll carry breakfast with as well, but I've kind of found over the past few years that like one of these types of meals a day is generally good enough if I bring snacks to eat throughout the day. But this is what I had in my house at this point in time. There would probably be one or two more with me just for a breakfast here and there if I wanted them. So generally, like 5 on a 3 day trip. That's sort of what we were carrying, and then a bunch of snacking stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And ideally, I ate all mine, so I don't have none to show you. But ideally, those 2 serving ones, you're supposed to eat those 2 times a day.
Yeah, right.
But it's very easy to eat the entire thing in one sitting.
Yep.
But if you can, you should split them up. I would probably eat a whole one after like a 13-mile hike like we did.
Yep.
But after like just lounging around for a day, a half of one should be more than enough.
You could split them.
Yeah, should be good.
Yep, definitely. Especially with snacks.
Yeah. So what do I got in here? Oh, this is my fishing kit as well.
Bust out the fishing kit. This is what everybody wants to see.
So extra stuff. So backpackers, they don't carry a float tube, they don't carry fins, they don't carry waders, they don't carry fishing stuff. And then they still complain about how heavy their packs are.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
They need to try this.
They do. All right, so flies. I always carry a lot of flies, streamers, top water.
Super light case, by the way.
Super light case, Sims,
Yep.
but the magnets are
Crap.
Yep, magnets suck. It's made in China, not actually in Bozeman.
Nice.
Sage reel, one with sinking line for dredging, which mostly that's all we do
For the most
for
part.
the most part. And then another one with floating. So I got those 2 guys. Then I did bring some snacks that I usually carry, Epics, the pig one because it tastes like
It's so good.
tastes like pure bacon.
Yep, it's so
It's
good.
delicious. Fatties, carry those. Sometimes we'll carry a little bit of granola here and there. Extra liter, just in case. Then my nippers here, or forceps here, and then my nippers I always bring with me. Gink, extra line, tippet, and then usually one more fly case. I might change this out for a lighter one, but yeah. Nymphs and some other stuff as well.
Yep.
Ooh,
Our fishing kits are pretty similar.
yeah. Simple. Just a pole, line, reel, flies.
Yep. Yep.
No power bait, no salmon eggs.
Yep. So I carry my float tube in here. This is the Outcast Trinity.
Oh yeah, just bigger than usual.
Yeah, a little bit, but you can see there's some air in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this rides in the middle of my pack. It's the heaviest item that I carry. These are about 7 pounds, I believe.
6.5.
6.5, something like that. I carry 2 webbing straps on here. One I use to put the boat together when I blow it up to tie the 2 tubes together, and then the other one is a spare in case Eric forgets his. I have one for him. Or I can use it for lashing stuff to my pack too, because a lot of times when you have a lot of time to pack up when you're going into the wilderness, and less time to pack up as you go out. So with a pack my size and with how densely it's packed, sometimes I don't have time to get stuff back to this size. So if I need to, I can use the straps to strap stuff to the outside of my pack for the way out. I try to avoid it, but the possibility is there, so I prepare for it.
Yeah. Those webbings come in so useful.
Yeah,
Always. Like, if
Yeah.
you have, just bring webbing.
they're very handy, very handy. And these are straps from Outdoor Research. Actually, they sell them. I think they're like $3 or $5 a piece. It's just a 1-inch webbing strap with a little pass-through buckle on it. But they work great. They work awesome for everything.
Yeah, we use them all the time.
Yep.
Same thing. So I got my float tube. However, it's different than his because I only packed the seat and the body this time.
Yep.
So I got that going on. But yeah, the heaviest thing for sure,
Yeah.
in our pack is the float tube.
Yep. A note to everybody as well. Eric would have the body of the tent packed around his stuff inside his pack. So when I'm pulling this out, which is the footprint, we bring a footprint along with the fly just to protect the tent. If space and weight is at a real premium, I'll ditch this and leave it at home. Because a 3-day trip isn't going to ruin a tent generally, but I like to protect the tent if at all possible. So this is another item that I would carry with me most of the time.
Tents are expensive.
They are. You don't want to be replacing them very often.
Yeah.
So.
And then I'll just grab these guys out. I carry my fins on the inside.
Yep.
They fit really nice just on the back, straight down, and then just packing everything against it. Also a nice brace as well on the back.
Yep. Adds a little structure to the back of the pack.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I'm getting down there now.
Yeah, we are.
Yep. So this is my cooking kit. This rides down at the bottom of my pack. Not all the way at the bottom, but alongside the bottom of basically the column of this. So it looks like this down there inside my pack. Cooking kit, super simple. Just a aluminum pot with handles, a lid, MSR pocket rocket stove, and then on the inside I carry a canister of fuel and a little absorbent towel that I can use for cleaning up pots, or basically just put it in here to stop rattling.
Yeah.
But it comes in handy occasionally, so I do keep using it. So that's my cook kit there. This pot is from Backcountry.com. It was one of their house brand cheapo aluminum pots. Actually, I think this one's titanium.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep, I think it's a titanium pot, but it was cheap, like aluminum cheap. That's why I bought it.
Oh.
So keep using this, but I would like to upgrade my pot to one of the Vargo pots like Eric has, because the screw-on lid is really cool.
Yeah, that one's
Yeah.
Then I got my toiletries here, which is just toothbrush, toothpaste, some Bronner soap, mouthwash, if I bring that, and floss. I have to say, always bring floss. It is really annoying after you eat and you have food stuck in your teeth and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So you're there looking for threading on your sleeping bag or something.
You could use fishing line instead of carrying that.
Oh, you could use that.
You'll learn.
I'll learn it. Now I can make my pack even lighter.
It's pretty interesting to see how different, like, the stuff we pack is and how we pack it.
Yeah, actually, I don't even know how he packed it because I always wondered, like, why his was lighter than mine or just heavier than mine or what.
Heavier, but it could fit
more. Yeah, everybody can fit more in a 70 liter. I'm an
Yep.
88 and I can't barely fit everything.
It's taken a lot of practice getting it all in here, trust me.
Okay.
Next up, my waders. They pack down nice and small. These are Reddingtons. I don't recall the name of the wader, but they're about $170 retail. Great wader so far. I'm really liking them. I think they're pretty similar to the Frog Togs, but they have reinforced lower legs, which I like. I've noticed that they're slightly warmer, slightly heavier as well, but they pack about the same size. So definitely happy with this purchase. These are new to me this year. I've only used them a handful of times so far. But my biggest thing with the Frog Togs, which they've upgraded now, was there was no outer pocket on the chest. It was just an inner pocket that flipped out.
That's right.
And on the new Frog Togs, they have the pocket on the outside of the front of the chest, which is super handy. So I say either one of these two pairs of waders would be awesome for these type of backcountry trips. So I'd own either one of them.
They are nice. All right, so I guess this would be like a tent body type of thing, but
Yep.
on the bottom I just stuffed my tent body, because where the other one would have went anyway. So I think if I would have took this out and added just his, maybe I would have had more room, but I don't know.
Yep.
But still, this
Would have been close.
would have been close. This tent's awesome. I've used it a few times. Really lightweight. Love that thing.
That is made of what?
Cuban fiber.
Cuban fiber.
Yeah.
It's crazy stuff. It's like cellophane.
It's waterproof naturally, and the water just feeds off of it. So actually in the morning dew, when someone else is packing their nylon tent, you can shake this off and it's completely dry.
Yep.
Which is really nice.
It's cool.
It's really sweet. But for this one, you have to have trekking poles beside that.
Yep.
Or sticks, I guess.
Yep. So he packed that in lieu of the tent body for mine, just to simulate that.
Yeah.
So
Just to get it in there.
yep. I'm down to the bottom pocket on my pack.
Me too.
Are you?
Oh, we carry like the same things.
Yep. Isn't that fun? So in the bottom of my pack, I have a lot of stuff actually, and this is just in the sleeping bag compartment of the bottom of my pack. I carry my collapsed water bladder.
2 liter.
3 liter.
Oh, is it a 3 liter?
Yep.
Damn.
So these are 3 liter hydration bladders from HydroPack, and this is the one that mates up with the water filter that we carry from Catadyne.
Sure.
Yep. So that filter screws into these threads, so you can scoop up water, fill this up, screw this in, and then squeeze water, filtered water, into your mugs and that sort of thing. So
Relatively fast too.
yep. And you saw how small it packs up. I mean, it packs up to basically nothing. So this rides in the bottom of my pack so that if we stop on the trail and we need to filter water, I don't have to dig through my entire pack to find it. It's in my bottom pocket, and I know it's always there, so I can just unzip one little corner, pop it out, and use it. So that's that. You want to dig into yours?
I only have one more item.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I got a few more.
I guess 2 more. Alright, so I got just the webbing for the bow of my float tube. Yep, stuffed on the bottom, and then the seat cover that goes on my float tube. So I packed it way differently because this way it's a lot easier to stuff the float tube in the bag, horizontal instead of vertical. So
There's a lot of good reasons to stuff fabric items into your pack instead of folding them or trying to ball them up, because there's a lot of voids in these packs when you have all these odd shaped items.
Mm-hmm.
So using your clothing or tent bodies or float tube outer materials just to kind of pack into those voids really helps you pack your pack densely and use all that space. So
yeah, nice.
The rest of my items that I have down here, my Sea to Summit pillow, which is super tiny and not that great, like we discussed before. I also carry a hanging kit for our food, and this is an old dry bag that's got holes in it that I've retired from dry bag duty, and now I use it for just hanging our food up in trees. It's a 20-liter bag as well, which works great for 3-day trips. And then I have a 50-foot section of paracord with a carabiner attached. so that I can throw up over a branch. I'll tie a rock to one end, throw it over a branch, and then hook the carabiner onto the other end and hoist it up. So I always carry a hanging kit for our food, so that makes life simple. I carry an extra 100 feet of P cord with me all the time because this stuff comes in handy for a million different things in the backcountry.
All the time.
So it's well worth having with you. You can use it from everything from setting up tents, setting up our tarp like this, lashing items together, even medical uses. You can use this for splinting a leg if you need to. It's just, there's a million different reasons to carry this stuff, so I keep it with me. And I keep it separate from my bear rope too, because I don't want to use this material on a trip and then come up short if I do need to string up a tarp or something the next time I go out. So I always keep a separate hank of paracord. And then, like I was talking about before, my Patagonia R1 hoodie rides down in the bottom by my sleeping bag. This is also for quick access if it gets real cold. And I don't want to hike with my rain jacket on because you get really stuffy and wet from sweat if you hike in a rain jacket. I won't use my rain jacket for warmth. I will only use it for rain. I have this available to me if it gets real cold and I need an insulating layer or even an outer layer just to block a little bit of wind or whatever and stay warmer. So I have that down there. And then I carry my saw. I was carrying a Gerber folding saw before. Now I'm carrying this, which is a Silky Gomboy curved saw. Ooh. And this is an upgrade definitely because it's metal construction, really good biting teeth, and a lot more durable than the Gerber I used to carry. This would probably cut about the same size logs as Eric's would in about the same amount of time, but this is a heavier saw than Eric's saw. Eric's saw is ultra lightweight, and this is, I mean, it's not super heavy, but no, I would say it's about 10 ounces, 10, 12 ounces.
Yeah, heavier than your power bank.
Yeah, yep, definitely. But great saw. I also like to carry this when we go ATVing as well, in case we come across logs across the trail or something. So super useful. And then finally, my last piece of gear is my sleeping bag. This is a 32-degree bag.
Mine is too.
So same as Eric's. Mine is a Marmot Arroyo, 32 degrees, that I purchased. I was trying to figure it out last night. I think I purchased this in about 2001. So this is a really old bag.
Oh.
But it's held up for years and years and years of abuse. And it's still a decent bag. It's not super light, and there's a lot better options out there, but it's one of those things that I won't give up until it doesn't have any loft left. And right now it's still got some loft, so
is that
I'll keep using it.
Down bag or a synthetic?
This is a down bag. It is a 650 fill, 32 degree bag from Marmot. This bag that it's in, the compression sack, is from my Mountain Hardware synthetic 20 degree bag, but I just repurposed the compression sack for this bag.
Nice.
So I like to make my sleeping bags into a ball shape so that I can stuff them in the bottom pouch of my backpack and then put extra stuff next to them. Like my R1 hoodie sits right next to it. So, and that's my whole loadout for those kind of trips.
Yeah, that's mine too. So as you can tell, Jason carries a little bit more than I do, especially with the medical kit and stuff like that.
Yep.
He has that stuff, I don't.
Yep. That's because I take care of all of our problems.
Yeah, I have no problems.
You have no problems because you're with me. I have a lot of background in um, medical training and search and rescue, so
Yeah, he knows all the knots and all that stuff. I'm always
it's
asking him,
kind
like,
of one of those things I can't get away from. I feel the need to be prepared for everything, so I do end up carrying a little bit more, but the biggest thing is weight. I think that I carry more weight, mostly because I'm bigger and my stuff is bigger. But I also haven't upgraded a lot of things like my sleeping bag for almost 20 years. So
yeah, no kidding.
yeah, still using some old stuff, but it was good stuff when I bought it, and it's a testament to like purchasing good gear right up front, and you can make it last a really, really long time. So it's worth spending some extra money to get good stuff when you're first getting into it. So
yeah, I've been trading sleeping bags in and out like crazy.
Yeah.
Last year I bought the Ghost Whisper, or I think it was the Ghost Whisper 40-degree bag, and it wasn't that warm. A 40-degree bag, it was really thin, and the way they designed it kind of sucked because it was like really wide. So there was a lot of dead space in there.
Yep.
So I sold that and then upgraded to this Thermarest here. It was lighter, more cut, better, and it actually has straps on the bottom to keep your sleeping bag in place, which is also really nice.
I'll be interested to see how you like that.
Yeah, me too. All right, so that's our loadout. Pretty much every single trip, it's usually the same thing, unless it's just a day hike. Then obviously we're going to lose a lot of weight from our sleeping bags and stuff like that, tents and.
But not enough, because my pack is still heavy.
His pack is still like 70 pounds. Since he has all that room, he just packs more beer.
Yep.
So it weighs the same.
Yeah, I do. I take a lot of beer with me if I can. I figure if I have to walk, I might as well bring stuff with me.
Yeah, and every time we get something lighter anyway, we just replace with beer. So it's always the same way.
Yeah.
It never gets any lighter, except for the way out. Theoretically, should be lighter.
I'm really liking the ATV stuff now.
Yeah, we're getting older, so I bought an ATV.
Yep.
You do more trips on that.
We can really haul a lot of stuff.
Lots of beer on those trips.
Yep. Beer, extra food, anything you want.
All the luxury items.
Yep. It's pretty good.
You don't have to pack tediously. Just throw everything in. It's nice.
No, I still pack tediously.
So if you guys have any questions, or if you want to know more about one piece of gear that we have, if we like it, we don't like it, let us know in the comments below, and we'll make a video of it. Okay, so next month we have 3 trips. We're going to hike into a lake, our annual lake that we always do, and then we're going to take our 4-wheelers up into, what range is that? Beaverhead Range, right next to Wise River.
Yep.
Love that area. You guys saw it last year. We took 4-wheelers in. This year I finally got my own 4-wheeler that I can take in. That trail is wonderful. It's so much fun. The lake is awesome. You saw those cutthroat. They were like 17, 18 inches. We're catching them on top water. Hopefully we can get the same results.
Earlier trip.
Way earlier trip.
But we may also do it a couple times this year, so.
Yeah, that's true. Or a couple of lakes around that area, because there's a couple of lakes that I want to head up to.
Yep.
And then the end of the month, we are going into the Bob Marshall, and we're doing that 20-mile hike in, 60-mile float out.
The South Fork of the Flathead River.
That's a big
pack rafting trip.
Pack rafting trip.
Yep.
So
have you ever pack rafted before?
No.
Me neither. This is gonna be awesome.
So this is our first time pack rafting. I need to buy a life vest for the trip, apparently.
Yep.
But I think for me, everything is going to be about the same weight except for the food. It's how long are we taking off? 7 days?
7 days.
7 days, so that's 7 days worth of food.
Yep.
That's a lot of food.
Yep.
I barely have enough room.
I'm going to carry a second backpack on the front just for my food.
I will say on this trip, I will pack my float tube or the pack raft on the outside.
Yep.
Just for the
to
room,
free up space for the food.
Yep.
Yeah. Same
here.
here.
I will have to.
And we'll have paddles that we have to take.
Yep. Paddles.
4-piece paddles. Do you have a 4-piece or 2-piece?
I have a 4-piece.
4-piece paddles. Life jackets.
Debating about the waders.
Waders, you could probably get away without them.
I'm debating just because if it storms it'd be nice to have waders on with a raincoat on.
Yeah, it's true.
And then you wouldn't have to worry about anything.
My Packraft has a spray skirt.
Oh, it does?
Yep.
Mine does not.
I'm renting my Packraft, and Eric owns his. So,
but yeah, I had bought a Cocopelli. Used it on Fly Lake once.
Yep.
And then I sold it because I didn't think we were going to do this trip. Because last year we didn't do this trip. I was all hyped about it. Jason ended up having life issues.
Got busy. Babies and such.
Babies. So yeah. So he couldn't go, so I sold it. And then he's like, let's do it again. So I'm like, all right. So I bought a alpaca this time. Alpaca caribou, which is an upgrade. It's 5 pounds.
Awesome.
Actually,
awesome boat.
Yeah, lighter than my flow tube.
Yep.
But still the same weight with the life vest and the paddles.
Yep. I will have a alpaca Denali llama.
Denali llama.
Yep. Made for big guys.
And how much is that going to run you for 7 days?
It was $175. So $25 a day, basically.
Which is not bad, considering, depending on how often you're going to use it. I know I'm not going to use mine this year, except for this trip.
Right.
It's a very specific, unique item.
Yep. Yep. I was planning on purchasing one, but decided against it at this point in time, just because I don't know how much use I'll get out of it. Plus, I also want to try a Packraft out to see if I like it or if there's another option that I might like better. So I figured I'd rent this time, get a feel for it, and then decide from there if it's something that I want to purchase. So,
which I hope he does, because there's a lake that I want to hit up in Glacier Park,
which I could also rent for.
Which you have to have a pack or a float tube, Packraft for that one.
Yep.
Not a float tube, but Packraft.
Yep.
But
it is true.
However, so that's July.
Yep.
And then after that, we're fishing in Glacier Park.
Yep.
This is going to be our first time filming in Glacier Park. We're going to try to hit up a couple of lakes up there. One being Elizabeth Lake, just because I've heard there still might be some grayling left in that lake.
Worth the try.
So,
worth a try.
Worth a try. And I don't know how far that lake is, but I think it's a good 8 to 10 mile hike.
Yep.
But beautiful views, so we're excited. Glacier Park is somewhere I really don't go that often. I've drove the road a few times. I've hiked to Avalanche Lake. Other than that, totally new territory for me.
Yeah, same here. I have not fished Glacier other than McDonald Creek. That's the only part that I've ever fished in my whole life. So,
and I've only fished McDonald Lake.
That park is pretty much untouched to me as far as fishing opportunities go. And I know there's fish all over that place. So.
And the best part, it's not a fishing destination.
That's right.
It's not a fishing destination. You barely see anyone fishing.
Definitely nobody float tubing.
No one, I don't think. Maybe you can count on your hands how many times people have float tubed some of those lakes.
Right.
It doesn't happen very often.
No.
Plus, you have to get a stupid tag to check for mussels on your float tube before you can hike in. So,
that's true.
Well, that's it, you guys. Again, if you guys have any questions, let us know. And that's our upcoming events that's going to be happening next month.
Yep.
And then a month after that. So,
yeah, let us know what you think, and let us know if you want us to do more videos like this, or if you have ideas for videos for us to do, let us know in the comments, and we'll keep trying to pump them out for you guys.
Yeah, it's
and
fun.
Did you do the ATV video yet?
No, I did not.
No. So stay tuned. We got some ATV stuff coming up too. We've been having a good time ripping around on those, so might as well make some videos about that as well.
But alright guys, we will see you on our next trip.
Thank you.
See ya.